Did you know that 71% of the earth is made up of water? With that being said, it's hard to believe why water conservation is such a big deal. But unfortunately, while 71% of the earth is made up of water, 97% of that water is salt water, and the other 2% is in glacier form, which is undrinkable for humans. Only 1% of the world's supply is available for human use, and water is an essential element of life. Two-thirds of our bodies are made up of water. This includes 95% of our brains, 82% of our blood, and even our lungs are made up of 90% of water. And what happens when we're dehydrated? Well, it doesn't take much. Just a mere 2% of our body's water loss can result in physical symptoms such as difficulty remembering, reading smaller print, and completing simplistic math problems. Dehydration can also be expressed through daily fatigue. Water truly is an essential element of life. So why does this matter? Well, nearly 1 in 10 people in the world do not have access to safe water. More than 500,000 children lose their lives yearly due to diarrhea, which is caused to the consumption of unsanitary water and poor sanitation. Luckily, within the United States, access to water is easily available. However, this accessibility leads us to take this resource for granted. The U.S. uses 450 billion gallons of water every single day. Now, only 6% of this is used by the public, but that still averages to 185 gallons of water per person per day, and only 1% of that is used for drinking. We need to make sure that we cut back on this waste so that we can save and utilize this precious resource more wisely. There's two main areas that I would like to focus on where we can cut back with just a couple of easy tips. The first is within our landscape. 50% of the water used by each household is used outdoors. And that is normally through sprinklers, as people often are watering their lawns and their landscape. A couple of tips to remember is don't water the sidewalk or the street. As you, especially if you have a sloped yard or a sloped lawn, it can be hard to not have that water run off into the street, but you can help out that with increasing the frequency of the times of watering and decreasing the amount of time that you have the sprinklers turned on. This allows the water to really seep into the ground and allows the grass roots to trap that water versus just letting it flow into the streets and becoming evaporated. Another thing to remember is that the optimal time for watering with your sprinklers is between 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning. This makes it possible, or this is optimal because there is less evaporation that happens during this cooler hours, and also most people don't use water during that 5 to 6 a.m. So that allows you to have that full water pressure and to have the water go where it needs to be. It's also important to make sure that you're watering according to the weather, which means it's okay to water more during the warmer days, as this will help prevent overcompensation later when you're trying to help your grass turn from brown to green. But also when it's a little bit cooler, or even if it's rainy, you can cut back on the amount of time that you're turning your sprinklers on, as Mother Nature is taking care of your lawn. One more tip is that with lawn care, when the neighborhood turns on their water during the springtime, it's okay to wait just a week or two before turning on your own sprinklers on your lawn. What this does is it really encourages those grass roots to go deep to seek for water. That will not only help your grass in later to become more drought tolerant, but it will also save you on your water bill, as you will have to water your grass less. Next, we'll move on to some bathroom tips. The biggest use of water within the bathroom is in the shower. Now, let's be a little realistic. If I were to ask everybody to limit their showers to 3 minutes a day, that would be a drastic change in lifestyle, and most people would be unwilling to make that change. However, what I am asking is that you cut back your daily showers to 5 minutes. If we all have 5-minute daily showers, then every now and again we can splurge with a longer, relaxing shower or even bath. Moving away from the shower, the next greatest source of water consumption within the restroom is the toilet. It is important to be a little bit conscientious with how many times you flush the toilet during the day. In fact, if everyone in the United States flushed the toilet just one less time, we would save a lake that was a mile long by a mile wide and was 4 feet deep. An entire lake just by flushing once less every single day. Another thing you can do is check for leaks within your water or within your toilet. What you can do is oftentimes there will be a secret and quiet leak. You can check for this by removing the top of the tank or the lid of the tank on the toilet and dropping in a few little drops of the food coloring dye. Then as you let that sit, you can return and check on your toilet in a couple of hours, and if you see any color whatsoever within your bowl, that means you have a water leak. This is a huge and unnecessary waste of water, and so just by simply fixing that leak, which is a simple process, you can save, again, not only that precious resource, but you can also save on your water bill. The last thing that I would like to discuss is shaving. The best thing that you can do is when you are shaving, shave with a plugged sink, especially you guys. It's important that you do this because on average 1 gallon per minute is used while the water is left running, and only half a gallon is used when you fill up a sink full for rinsing. This also goes for when you are washing your face or brushing your teeth. Every minute that you leave that tap water going will be a gallon of water that is wasted. A gallon of water that is wasted. So by simple means such as being savvy when it comes to watering time on the lawn, and decreasing the amount of water used within the restroom, and checking for leaks, we can truly make a difference within the world as we work to save this essential element of life. Thank you.